You keep telling yourself you'll start posting online, but you never do. Or maybe you do post something online, but then cringe hard about it. You see each day new creators going viral, and subconsciously you tell yourself that you're left out and it's too late to succeed anymore. When I started my YouTube channel in 2016, I was experiencing what you're exactly going through right now. But actually, looking back, starting this YouTube channel was hands down one of the best decisions I've made in my life, like 100%. So I wanted to show you exactly how to break out of the cycle of fear, doubt, and constant regret so you can finally start posting online with confidence. So let's just get out of the way first. Yes, some people will judge you. When I started YouTube in 2016, I was basically in high school. You know, the era where you are most self-conscious about what other people think about you in your entire life. It's high school. Think about it. And some people said I'd never make it and made fun of my cringe channel because it was cringe. But now those same people are asking me actually advice for their YouTube channels. And what I realize is that we are overestimating how much people actually think about us. Yes, like they might judge us once or twice, but no one is constantly thinking about our actions. And if they do, they're probably a fan. And let them be your first fan. Most of the time, when people judge you for starting something, it's actually because seeing you take action reminds them of their inaction. It makes them uncomfortable because you're doing what they're too scared to do. So, first mindset shift is stop making it a big thing in your head. People's insecurity is not your responsibility, and people are not obsessed about you. And yes, your videos are going to be cringe. They're going to be embarrassing. Like, I'm not gonna give you the fake encouragement and say you'll create amazing content from day one, because you won't. You know, like looking back, my first videos were terrible. I look at them now, I cringe a little bit, it's cute, but that's exactly what needs to happen. You have to suck before you get good. You have to be embarrassing before you become confident. Not just about YouTube, this is anything in life, you know? And every creator you admire went through this phase. The difference is that they kept going while most people quit after first few attempts because they can't handle looking stupid. But don't let your ego and fear of looking stupid hold you back. It's the part of journey to improve anything in life. You have to look stupid. And you might think it's the money and the fame that makes everything worth it, but it's actually not. I used to also think that it's the money and the fame and attention, but it's not. It's actually the people. It's the community you build. I know it sounds so woo-woo, but when you start posting online, you'll actually connect with like-minded people who have the same vision, goals, and mindset as you. People who won't judge you for trying, because everyone in the space went through the exact same path and we're constantly trying something new as creators. And also, you'll build a community of ambitious people who support and uplift each other instead of tearing each other down out of jealousy. And this can be your audience, this can be the other creator friends you make, you know? And I'm a mixed kid who never felt home in any country. Like, I was always too foreign everywhere I went, and I never had that sense of belonging until I started YouTube, actually. And this platform became my safe space because I built a community around my philosophy, my own vision, and people who had similar values. And when you put your authentic self out there, you attract people with similar beliefs and values, and the connection you make will be deeper and more meaningful than surface level friendships based on proximity or convenience. You'll also develop a lot of skills that serves in every single area of your life, whether that's like communication, confidence, sales, creativity, or business, marketing, etc., etc. Like, you'll become comfortable being uncomfortable, which is one of the most valuable traits that you can ever develop. Develop. But also, something that no one tells about you, like, even after you understand all this mentality, most people will freeze up the moment they hit record. So I want you to give you the exact framework that I use to talk to the camera naturally, like I'm doing right now, you know? The biggest mistake when it comes to talking in front of the camera that people do is that they try to perform, almost like presenting, right? But you have to stop trying to be a YouTuber and just be yourself. Like, imagine your best friend is sitting right behind the camera and you're talking to them, not some like imaginary audience of thousands of people and then you're at a stadium or something. No, I'm talking to you, my friend, you know? You have to use the same tone, same energy, same expressions you would use in a normal conversation. So if you wouldn't say like, oh, what's up guys, or something to your friend, then don't say it to the camera. At least like at the beginning. Obviously, after a while you have this persona, YouTuber persona, but at the beginning it's much easier if you treat it like you're talking to another human being. Another tip that I can give is a lot of people in front of the camera are like too stiff. They're like, today I'm going to talk about what? No, don't do that, okay? Use your hands naturally. If you're using gestures while you're talking in real life, which you probably do, then allow your hands to do stuff like I'm doing right now, you know? It just feels more natural when you're speaking, and it doesn't feel like you're presenting something or pitching something. If you're really self-conscious, what I would recommend is you can start by holding something small. It could be a pen, it could be a stress ball, or a microphone like this, you know, that I'm doing right now. Basically anything that makes your hands feel natural, because when you have something in your hand, it just feels more natural, you know, rather than just like sitting like this. And also, look directly into the camera lens, not at the screen that's like showing your face, whether that's side of it or on top of it or anything like that. And when you're looking into the camera lens, like don't look disassociated, you know? Think about like who you're directing your videos to. It could be maybe your younger self, maybe your younger sibling you have, or someone imaginary. But when you are filming, imagine the camera lens is their eye. Like that's what I literally imagine. Like I'm staring into your eye right now. Because when you do this, you become like more natural and authentic. It definitely feels weird at first because at the end of the day it's my lens, but you'll get used to it, you know? Because like, now I feel like I'm literally talking to you one-on-one and like you're here, like I see you. Am I getting schizophrenia? I hope not. Yeah. If you don't know what to say or end up rambling about irrelevant stuff, I actually highly recommend using the simple structure. First, here's what I want to talk about today, which is your topic, right? And then you explain why it matters to you, so the benefit to the audience, and you tell your experience with it, so your story and then examples, and at the end, a conclusion. Here's what I recommend you to do, an action, a conclusion. That's literally the structure of most videos. Like keep it simple, that's it. You don't have to like overthink about, oh, how are you going to connect the things, etc., etc. Just start with this and you'll get better at time anyway. And you're going to mess up when you're filming, you know, that's normal. But the key is that don't restart the entire video. You stumble over a word. Just like I did, for example, right now. You have to just pause for a second, take a breath, then continue from where you messed up. Just repeat the thing that you said. You can edit out or pause later. Better like leave some natural pauses in it, because like it's how we speak, right? Like we don't speak like non-stop blah blah blah. If you completely lose your train of thought, just say, let me try it again, I got this, and continue. Because sometimes those moments actually make a better content because they're genuine and people see you like making mistakes and you're not this like perfect presenter that people see. And speaking of all these retakes and mistakes, this is where editing becomes your best friend, because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes while you're filming. Like you're gonna retake 40-minute clip would be just a 10-minute clip. What used to kill my confidence when I was starting out was spending hours trying to edit all the ums and awkward pauses from a 10-minute video, especially because I'm not a native speaker. And I get a bunch of comments saying, Rudy, I filmed my video, okay, I got that part done, but editing is a disaster. I don't know where to start. It's a nightmare. And it is. And that's exactly why I want to tell you about Gling AI, which is literally built for YouTubers like us who want to focus on our message, not trying to figure out how to use a complex editing software. Because honestly, I hate editing. You know, some people enjoy it, but I hate it. And let me show you how actually Gling can help you out. Here's how it works. Basically, I just uploaded my raw footage and Gling automatically removes all the awkward pauses, the ums and ahs, like weird things. And even those moments where you completely mess up and had to start over, you can just edit them super easily. My favorite part is that you can edit by selecting text instead of like going through the timelines, so that you don't have to watch again and again and again. It's basically like editing a document instead of wrestling a complicated like software and trying to see where you cut out and where you repeat. You just basically read through the text. And the confidence boost you have when you're filming that editing is easy, and even if you do a mistake, you can edit it later, just saves a lot of time, and it just gives you that confidence, and then it stops being a fear of you. So try Gling AI today. The link is right below this video. It's really good. Like it just does all the things that you need. And thank you to Gling for sponsoring of this video and supporting the channel. It's partnership like this that help me keep doing what I love and talking about the topics that matter to me. So thank you. Maybe right now you might be feeling like, yeah, really, like I get it. I understand. I can talk to the camera, you know. I figured out the editing part, and I understand what you say about you shouldn't let other people's insecurities guide you. But I'm struggling. What should I do? Because it's valid. Like, just me saying, oh, don't focus on it is not enough. Obviously, you know, you are fearing of it. That's why you haven't been able to post. So what should you do? I want to walk you through my exact system for working these kind of mental barriers and the fear of, you know, people talking shit about you and you fearing that and judgment and everything like that. I basically teach this to my coaching students, and I coached over 100 people to start their YouTube channel. Basically turn it into a method. And the first thing you gotta do is that you gotta get specific about your fears. Don't just like write, people will judge me or anything like that, but write down exactly who you think will judge you and what you think they will say. For example, Rebecca from work will think I'm trying too hard, or my college friends will make fun of me behind my back, or my family will think this is a waste of time and I'm a complete failure. Like, take an hour to do this, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. Write it on paper, Notion, wherever you want. But the point is to get it out all of your head onto paper where you can see it visually. Most people skip this step because it's uncomfortable, but it's actually a fundamental step because you gotta get these vague fears out of your head so you can actually look at them. The more you don't face them, the bigger they get, and the more like weird details you add to them that it almost feels like reality even though it never happened, you know? The step 2 is the important part. So for each fear, you have to ask yourself, do I have any evidence this person would actually react this way? Let's think about Rebecca from work. Has she ever made fun of you for trying something new? Or are you just projecting your own fear of judgment onto her, even though she didn't do anything so far? Most of the time, I actually realized that we have zero evidence. You know, we're creating stories based on our own insecurities, not how these people actually behave. I had this breakthrough moment last week. So if you do have an evidence, you know, maybe Rebecca has made negative comments about other people's side projects, or maybe she mocked them or something like that, but screw her. Like, at least now you're dealing with reality instead of imaginary fears that you don't know how to tackle. And if you discover you're making assumptions without evidence, then we actually have to dig deeper, because why are you creating these stories? Oftentimes it's actually our internal voice projecting outward, and we just pick like a random person that's gonna say that in our head. We're telling ourselves that we're not good enough, or we're gonna fail, or we tried something once and it didn't work, so I'll never succeed again, and stuff like that. But then we take this internal criticism and imagine other people thinking the same thing. But the reality is that most people are so concerned with their own problems and insecurities, especially as you age, they're not sitting around and analyzing our life choices. We are busy. Like, people have more important shit to care than your YouTube channel. Literally. For the judgments that might actually happen, ask yourself, so what? What are the real consequences? Like, will Rebecca's opinion affect your job? Or will your college friend's joke impact your ability to succeed? Or will your family's skepticism change the outcome of your effort, or how much you want to perceive the thing? In the most cases, the answer is no. You're giving other people's opinions way more power over your life than they deserve. That is for sure. But sometimes there are real consequences. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Maybe you work in a conservative like industry where having a YouTube channel could actually hurt your career. Or maybe you live with your parents and they're extremely against it. If that's the case, you need to weigh your options. You need to be honest about what's real risk versus what imagined, and what you have to sacrifice to what you get, and whether you are fine with that. Because maybe you don't want to like ruin your career, then maybe starting a YouTube channel is not the right answer. And the another one that most people skip when they start posting online is understanding the deeper why. You need to know why you want to start posting online beyond just money. If money is only your motivation, you're actually gonna quit first time someone makes fun of you, your views drop. You know, internet gossip is a crazy place. But like, for example, for me, it has been actually a lifelong dream. Like, I always imagined myself being a YouTuber, creating videos on topics that I'm curious about, and people watching me and engaging me. I don't know, it just gives me goosebumps still, you know? Like, when people made fun of me in high school, it didn't matter because A, I was delusional, and B, I knew this was what I was meant to do. So it's like a life calling, you know? So I want you to ask, like, what's your deeper purpose? Do you actually want to help people or share knowledge, or build a community around something you're passionate about? Or are you just interested in this because people say that being a YouTuber is nice, because it's a trend? You have to get clear on this. This is going to the thing that's going to carry through the inevitable criticism that you're going to face. And if you don't get criticism, views fluctuate, And if you're still paralyzed by fear after working through it all, start with unlisted videos. Like, this is an advice I actually just gave to one of my students, where I said, make your content, stick to a schedule, but keep the videos private. You can still commit to posting every Friday, but nobody has to see it until you're ready. Like, making videos doesn't mean publishing them to the whole world. Like, you can focus on improving 1% each video. First video, maybe you work on ideas. Second video, maybe you focus on your title. Third video, you improve your thumbnail. You don't try to do everything at once, because otherwise it's gonna feel impossible. That's how I also grew my YouTube channel. And when making videos become normal for you, when you've built the habit of making videos and you improved your skills, that you are somewhat fine with the videos that you make, then make everything public. You'll have a content library ready to go, and you'll be way ahead of where you would have been if you waited to feel ready, because you actually practiced. And that growth, that journey of growth, can actually inspire tons and tons and tons of people. So give it a try. Finally, I basically coached over hundreds of people on how to start and grow their YouTube channels. I had this coaching community and stuff like that. I was doing one-on-ones, I was doing group coachings, but I actually decided to take a step back from it, even though it was generating really good money and I was really happy about it, because it was taking way too much time away from me making videos. Because let's say I created the community and coaching. Now I have to promote it. I have to make videos about it. I have to send emails. I have to announce it while I'm making the video, while I'm coaching students, making everyone happy, make sure that everyone is on their track, blah, 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 answering questions. And it just took me away from making content, which is the thing that I want to do. So it took me away from my passion, and I realized it wasn't making me happy. And I also didn't want to become one of these glorified course sellers who make their majority of their income from their courses, and they don't practice the thing anymore. They're like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to build a business. And they don't have a business. Their business is selling a course. I don't want to become that. But I accidentally become that, and I hated every second of it. But I got actually really positive feedback from my content, the things that I teach in the community. And people told me that it was the best thing that they ever consumed about YouTube growth. So I basically decided to put everything I know into a self-paced course. It's basically way cheaper than what I used to charge for coaching. It's the same value, except I'm not teaching you personally. I literally screen recorded how I write a script or how I edit a thumbnail and how I think about videos and stuff like that. I'm shifting my focus to other projects now that I'm going to announce, but I want to make it as affordable as possible so that more people can use it. And I understand courses can be really expensive. Maybe you're struggling financially right now and you can't afford it, even though it's highly discounted from the original price, what I used to charge. And also if you would compare it to other YouTube courses, it's way cheaper and more affordable. Not because the value isn't there, because I just want to help as many people as I can. I know it sounds so gimmicky, right? But hear me out. If you're serious about YouTube, if you think this video was valuable, and if you want to learn more from the perspective of I think about YouTube and want the course, want to go through it, but don't have the financial means right now, maybe you can't afford it, maybe you're not in a right place right now, I actually decided to give it free to few people who actually need it and who are really serious about starting YouTube. Because I thought about it, when I started YouTube, I was in high school. I was really depressed. And by all means, I didn't have money at all. I was completely broke. And I thought, if someone did that to me when I was in that space, I would be so grateful. So I was like, why am I not doing it then? Maybe for a business decision, it's not a good thing that I'm giving free to some people, and some people maybe gonna use it for bad reasons, and they're gonna, download it and distribute to other people and for free on Reddit or something like that. But maybe it's gonna be life-changing to some people who are going through hard shit right now. So if you're actually really serious about it, but you genuinely don't have the money for it, not because you want to get a freebie or something, you can apply for the scholarship through the link in bio. And I want to be completely honest, the journey to become a YouTuber is really tough. Or being a YouTuber in general is very tough. You'll get judged, everything feels so overwhelming, and there's a lot of things you need to learn. There's this comparison, constantly because of YouTube algorithm, and it genuinely requires commitment. But if you're willing to work through those challenges, you'll build something that's lasting and actually making impact in people's lives. Even after you die, you know? You'll find your people, develop skills that serves your life and create opportunities that you actually never imagined. You know, because like think about it, like 70 years or maybe 80 years from now on, maybe I might not be in the world, but this video can be on the internet. Isn't that crazy? So, what's stopping you? Take the first action. You got this. Ready? Commit.